Good morning, everybody. Uniquely Lady Charlotte, and it is super early in the morning. And well, okay, it feels super early in the morning because I'm getting ready to go to work. But I didn't get very much sleep last night. I haven't been asleep since 2:30 this morning. We got some new neighbors. They're young, and I guess they decided. Well, they didn't. You never decide that. But there was a physical altercation between this young man and this young lady. Um, you could tell the young man had been drinking. We have bad nights. We have bad nights. You drink too much or whatever, and you fall down the stairs, or you fall going up the stairs. You get into an argument, don't remember it the next day, or you just show out so bad and get thrown out of bars or out of, you know, people's homes because you done showed out. You done got naked on somebody. So, um, so last night, well, early this morning, about 2:30 in the morning, um, I hear this booming around right above, well, in the back of my head against the wall. And then I hear a lot of yelling. It's inaudible, but it's a lot of yelling. So I'm like, okay. So Heidi Scotty says, are those your house guests in there arguing? I said, no, I don't think so. He said, no, they were asleep when I went to the bathroom, so it's not your house guests. I said, no, no. So we listened for a few more moments, and then you hear a bunch of booming and banging. Then you hear it stop. Okay. I never heard the young lady. I just heard his inaudible voice. So all of a sudden I hear it slam, front door. All right, fine. Front door slams. I look out the window, and she's sitting in the car. She's locked herself in the car. And he's outside in a t-shirt and pants and um, one sock on, one sock off, no shoes. And mind you, it's cold out there. Especially at 2:30 in the morning, it was cold. I know because I had to come outside. So anyway, Scotty and I, we looking out the window, watch her sitting in. He's on the driver's side because she's on the passenger side. So she's on the driver's side. I mean, she's on the passenger side, and he's on the driver's side window yelling in the car in the middle, in the parking lot. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but he was yelling and dancing around and pretending to be hunching the air and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh boy, we got one of those type of neighbors. No consideration for anybody else. So, get going here. Hold on, gotta put my seatbelt on. Hold on one second. So I ain't gonna lie, he's being very irritating. A lot of times when people have been drinking, they are irritating to other people that may not have been drinking or may not have had as much as they've had. So they don't see how they cutting up and acting a fool. This is normal in your world at the moment. So he goes in the house, slams the door, which shakes the entire apartment building. Well, I know on my side and the other guy's side, it just shakes the building, the walls. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to say anything because I'm sure I've made noise. I'm sure that my nieces and nephews, being children, have made noise. Heidi Scotty has had his music playing, maybe a little too loud at times. I have to tell him to cut it down. And I've heard their music, but it's nothing disrespectful. So it's like, okay, I'm just not going to say anything. She's sitting in the car. She appears to be fine. She's not crying. She's not, she doesn't look to be in distress. She looks mad, if anything. So I'm like, all right, so things are back to normal. Slams the door. Then you hear him come back out the door. Slam. But on the inside, I'm welling up. I mean, the anger is fueling my fire, honey. So I'm going to talk about the other side of your adult altercations, or the other side of your domestic violence, the people that aren't in your house. So I'm a firm believer that, okay, this is how I see it. You have dominoes on your side of the table, and I have dominoes on my side of the table. So I feel like I've set my dominoes up. When you're a kid, you set up dominoes. So I've set up my dominoes in a design or a pattern, the one that I want. And hopefully, if I do things right, they don't fall until I'm ready to make them fall. Now, I believe that if you setting up dominoes on your side of the table, if we're sharing the table, that if you screw up and your dominoes fall before you build your pattern or your design or get whatever it is that you want to get out of those dominoes, and yours fall down, your dominoes should no way knock my dominoes down. Because if you knock my dominoes down, I'm going to flip that table over on you. And it's going to be on and popping. Alright, so that's how I try to live my life. Just leave my dominoes alone. I'm going to leave your dominoes alone. You leave my dominoes alone. And then when you're ready to knock them down or you're ready to showcase what your dominoes can do, fine. Because I ain't going to keep setting up dominoes every time you get mad and you want to knock them all, everybody else's dominoes down. Alright? So that's my little analogy. Don't mess with my dominoes. So I'm like, okay, Kim, this is not your issue, but I'm listening because I don't know, I was just listening in case I heard something out of the ordinary. You know, young people, they argue, they fight, whatever, then they get back together. She don't leave or he don't leave. Because domestic abuse, it doesn't just affect a man, it doesn't just affect a woman. It doesn't just affect children. It affects your household and people outside of your household. So that's the part I want to talk about. Alright, so now, he goes in the house, he comes back out. I told you he's doing the hunching dance in the air and talking trash to her. I can see that part. He's taunting her. She's just looking straight ahead. He goes back in the house, get on the porch light. Because me being the nosy neighbor that I am, I'm looking. You don't woke me up. So now I'm looking. I can't go back to sleep. So he comes right back out immediately. He goes to the passenger side. So Scotty was like, well, why is she sitting over there? I said, well, you remember, he moved here first. So it's probably his apartment. And she just moved in not too long ago. She ain't been there too long. Maybe about 2 or 3 months. I said, and so it's not her car. So she don't have keys. But she did manage to get in the car and lock herself in the passenger side. He said, oh, okay. All right. So we're just looking. Now he begging. When he came back out the house, that split second leg, babe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They always sorry. Whether it's a male or female, they always sorry. She just sitting there. And then she started shaking her head. I'm like, oh, she getting ready to go back in the house. Because one, it's cold out there and she don't have the keys, so you can't keep warm because you can't start the car. So I said, she ain't gonna be able to sit out there. He's talking about she can stay out there all night. I said, she gonna freeze to death because she don't have keys. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the cops in my fine town. They just turned in behind somebody on one of these little streets. I hope they're going somewhere because I thought that street was a dead end. So anyway, she reached for a bag in the back seat, got a couple of bags, and she gets out the car. He opens the door, she gets out, and they go in the house together. Okay, the door shuts because he slammed it kind of hard. She wasn't in the house maybe 3 minutes before you hear all this booming up against the wall and into the closet because our beds must be head to head. So you hear all this booming and going on and yelling and you can tell it's a fight now. You can tell that. Either she being thrown all over this house, or this bedroom, because she's a tiny girl. He's tiny too, but she's a real tiny, little tiny light-skinned girl. That chick probably weighed right at 105. And then he looked like he was no more than like 130, 120. So I get up out the bed. I said, hell no. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this all night. So I get up and I take my fist and I bam on the wall hard. Because I want you to know you done woke me up and I'm not getting ready to go through this. Your dominoes have now knocked my dominoes over. So I go downstairs. I get up and I'm putting on my clothes because I'm going outside now and I'm going to ring the doorbell. So Kelly, my little sister, she comes out in the hallway looking wild. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? She talking about, what's wrong? You all right? I said, yeah, I'm fine. She talking about, girl, I heard that bamming on the wall. And I thought that was you and Heidi Scotty in here fighting. I said, no, he in the bed asleep. She talking about, no, girl, I thought you bamming on the wall was a cry for help. So we started laughing. I said, no, but I am getting ready to go next door and get this stuff straightened out. Those were not my words. I said, because I'm not going to listen to fighting all night long. Plus, my nieces and nephews are asleep. So they got school in a few hours. All right, so I go walking outside. I walk over there. I ring the doorbell. I ring it. ring it, ring it. If I could have burned it up, I would have burned it up. But I ring it, because you can still hear the yelling and all that. But I noticed my next door neighbor on the other side of that guy, his light is on, and it's 2:30 in the morning. So this guy, he works in the daytime like I do. So he's got his living room light on. So I know he mad. So so then my sister come outside. She got on all her street clothes and her tennis shoes. She's like, okay, so this is what we doing. Okay. So he yells out the window, get away from my door right now. Whoever you are, get away from my door. I kept ringing the doorbell. Get away from my door right now. So Kelly's like, Kim, come on, get away from that door. I said, all right, I'm going to do this the right way. All right, I'm going to call the police. So I'm walking back to my apartment, to my side of the steps. So he comes outside. Yes, can I help you, ma'am? He drunk as a skunk. Yes, can I help you? Can I help? My sister told him, she said, I tell you what, you might want to stay on that porch. Don't come off that porch because you don't want it. You do not want it. So he just standing there looking with his arms folded. I didn't say anything. I go in the house and I'm calling 911. So I call 911 and all of a sudden it's quiet over there. That's normally how it go. When they know you're getting ready to call the police. Oh, the officers in blue or black, whatever they wear, just the mere mention of their name sometimes make people scatter like roaches. So all of a sudden now it's quiet over there. I'm like, oh no. There's no need to be quiet now. So I talk to the officers on the phone and I tell them that they're arguing very loudly. That the young lady had come outside and got in the car and locked herself in before, going back in the house. And I said, you can tell he's been drinking, probably having a bad night. Because like I said, we've all had those bad nights. It's been one way or the other. And I said, so they've awakened people in my house, and I have children here that need to go to school. And I said, they've also got my neighbor up on the other side. I said, and they've also been outside yelling. Well, he's been outside yelling. I said, I've not heard the female say anything. She's been very quiet. All right, so the police come. And, well, they ask me, do you want us to come to your house? Let me ask you this. If you're trying to call the cops on somebody, why do the police always say, do you want us to come to your house? What if I was trying to be anonymous? In this case, I wasn't. I ain't give 2 flying footballs that they knew. Because now I know I called. Because I done told you I'm getting ready to call. Well, my sister said, we getting ready to call. So, I said, well, yeah, they can come if they want to. But I'm telling you what happened over the phone. But if you want, I have children at my house, and I don't need them to see the police. So she said she understood that. I said, but I'll be standing outside when you come, if they want to talk to me. Well, the police came. I went to the bathroom. The police came, and then I come back in the living room. My little sister outside talking to the cops. She didn't see nothing, but she out there talking to him. I'm like, well, I told her what happened, so she relaying the message on what I told her. And when I look at it, she's pointing over at the apartment. So the guy, he just come outside. He just sit down on the steps. Just as quiet, just as meek as he normally is, just as quiet. And so the officer asked me what happened. I reiterated what she said, and making sure to let them know that I didn't see a fight. I don't know what the altercation was about, but they were very loud. So it's more like a noise complaint. And, all right, so the officers, they went over and talked to him. He was sitting on the porch again, like I said, on the steps. And after that, the young lady comes outside. They were there for a long time. The young lady comes outside, and she got a bunch of bags packed, and somebody picked her up, so she left. Now the dude out there crying and carrying on. He crying and trying to explain something to somebody in the car to pick the young lady up. I know this because Scotty and I was out the window again. So the young lady gets in the car, and they drive off. So the officer's talking to the guy. I'm like, yeah, you don't know the cops around here. Don't play that. And my community is a very, very quiet community. It's mainly seniors. And so I don't know where they from, but we don't get down like that in this community. All right, so I'm looking at the window. I can't hear nothing they're saying. I ain't going to lift the window and listen. Now, I normally would, but I ain't lift the window because I ain't want to hear it. At least get them some privacy. I ain't want to know everything. All right. So next thing you know, I see the officer hug the guy. And I'm like, what in the Sam Hill going on? I'm like, well, hugs are better than bullets. So he hugged the guy, and the guy just broke down crying. Remember, my daughter just finished dealing with a narcissist, so I don't believe none of that what I see now. I don't believe that. So the guy just broke down crying, and it's like, wow, now your woman gone, and you done had too many drinks and all that. But again, it happens. It happens. I don't want to be judge and jury in the situation. But I'm going to speak on the part of the outside looking in. Okay, so now you're in your house. You and your whomever have had a domestic dispute. That could be a fight. It could be verbal abuse that's very loud. My thing is, whatever you do in your house, let that stay in your house. But the minute your business bleed out of them doors and come outside, all right, now you want other people to solve your problem for you because you can't seem to solve it yourself. Now you inviting other people's opinion into what you're doing in front of them. Say for example, hate to say it this way, but we adults. So you and your man out, y'all arguing out in public. You couldn't wait till you got in the car. You couldn't wait till you got home. You're arguing out in the public. There are children in the public. There are other adults out in the public. There are seniors in the public view. But all of a sudden, your man punched you in your mouth and just start wailing on you. See, whatever y'all do at home, that's not acceptable. Not at all. But whatever you do at home behind your closed doors, that's on y'all. Keep your dominoes in your house. But the minute you do it in public, now you have invited public opinion into your business. If you don't want nobody to know what you're doing, keep it in your house. For example, another one. All right, some people don't condone a pregnant woman smoking. That's always been a very sensitive subject when I was coming up. I don't know what they're doing now. But when I was coming up, if you saw a pregnant woman smoking, okay, people would just say something to you, like you killing your baby. How are you doing this and why are you doing that? You're a bad mother, whatever. All right, and then you want to break down, start crying or whatever. But whatever you do outside them doors, you have invited public opinion into your business. So somebody's going to give you what you're looking for. Now, on the outside looking in, not only has he torn up his own house, I'm angry this morning. I'm angry this morning because I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy because I ain't been to sleep since 2:30 this morning. But I'm sure he went over there and got him some good sleep. I'm sure he did. But I haven't had any sleep. And I got to go to work and be here till 5 o'clock today. I was so close to calling in. But I'm like, no, Kim, get your dominoes back in order. Get your dominoes back in order. You can't let what he did affect your dominoes. But if I had it my way, I'd flip this table over on him. I would. That's how I feel right now. When you wake up in the morning, you're sleepy. My neighbor on the other side of him, he left the house at 4:30 this morning. I'm like, yeah, because he's a truck driver. So I'm like, wow. I know he's sleepy and mad. He don't never look happy anyway. He look grumpy all the time. Maybe because he's sleepy. I know he really going to be on one today. I speak to him, but he don't speak back. He just look at me, but he don't speak back. But I speak every day anyway when I see him. I'm eventually break his horny exterior. It's just a shell, just a hard shell. I don't know. Maybe he don't like African Americans. I don't know. But he don't talk to me. I've seen him talk to Mr. Gary Rogers. But it's all right. I'm going to still speak every day. So with that, I'm glad the kids did wake up one time and say, what's going on? And I was like, nothing. You're dreaming. Go back to sleep. So they went back to sleep. So they have no idea what happened. Maybe as the day go on, I'll feel a little bit better. But right now, I want to flip the table over with them dominoes on it. All right, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to find my happy place. Maybe around 10-ish, I'll start to feel like a flower again. But you know what? I'm going to get off the phone and I'm going to just pray. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray and ask God to remove these feelings from me that I feel right now because they're not very good feelings. And then I'm going to ask God to go and bless whatever's happening in that house and just fix it. Lord, just fix it. Jesus, just take the wheel. Just fix it. I don't know what needs to be fixed. Only He knows. I'm just asking Him to fix it. Because I'm not judge nor jury on what's going on and over in that house. All right, guys. So have a good day at work. And I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.